Long ago, beyond stormy seas and valleys veiled in mist, lay the kingdom of Selene. It was a realm rich in spices, gold, and scholars, where traders came from distant continents to barter and learn. Its capital, Orvenhall, was a city of domes and marble pillars, where the air smelled of cinnamon and ink. At the heart of this kingdom ruled Queen Selene. She was not born to power, but to wisdom. As a child, she was known for her piercing questions. Why does the law favor the rich? Why should one man's word weigh more than another's? What is truth, and why do men fear it? By the time she inherited the throne from her dying father, her reputation as a seeker of truth was so strong that even her enemies called her the Mirror Queen, for none could twist words in her presence. Selene began her reign by establishing a hall of petition, where any citizen could speak directly to the crown. Unlike other rulers who sat upon high thrones, she listened from a plain chair at the same level as her people. Many mocked her humility, but soon whispers grew. This is a queen who will not be blinded by flattery. Yet truth, as Selene knew well, is a dangerous blade. It cuts both ways. Her first great trial came when a group of merchants accused a humble healer named Mara of poisoning noble children. The merchants wept before the court, claiming Mara's herbs caused madness and fever. They demanded her execution. Mara, shaking, insisted her remedies were harmless, used by villagers for generations. Most queens would have bowed to pressure. But Selene asked questions no one else dared. She summoned the merchants one by one and demanded exact accounts of the sickness. Their stories did not align. Some said the children raved with visions. Others claimed they fell into silence. Then Selene did what none expected. She drank Mara's potion herself. Before the horrified court, she raised the cup and swallowed. Hours passed, and Selene walked calmly into the hall, alive and unharmed. The merchants' lies unraveled like torn cloth. Pressed hard, they confessed that they had framed Mara to discredit her remedies, which cut into their trade of costly foreign tonics. The hall thundered with outrage. Selene spared their lives but stripped them of wealth, ordering it distributed among the poorest families. Then she spoke. Truth does not tremble before profit. If we sell lies for gold, our kingdom will crumble on deceit. From that day, the people loved her fiercely, and her enemies feared her even more. Years passed, and Selene's reign blossomed. Schools multiplied, where children of all classes learned not only letters, but the pursuit of truth. Markets thrived under honest trade. Yet shadows gathered also. Nobles grew restless under her sharp eye, for truth exposed their corruption. Some whispered she was too bold, that her obsession with honesty made her blind to politics. The greatest test came during war. A neighboring king, Rovan of Drakemere, accused Selene of stealing his caravans. He marched an army to the borders, demanding tribute. Selene's council urged her to deny it with diplomacy, even if it meant lying to save peace. But Selene refused. She called for witnesses, both her own and Rovan's. Through long nights, she examined maps, trade logs, and testimonies. At last, she uncovered the truth. Not Selene's men, but Rovan's own corrupt captains had stolen the goods and blamed it on her realm to spark war. Armed with proof, Selene rode unarmed into Rovan's camp. The generals laughed at her folly, but she stood calm. Before his throne, she laid the evidence bare, naming the guilty men. Rovan's captains faltered, and one confessed in shame. Shocked by her courage, Rovan dismissed his corrupt officers and called off war. You are bolder than any king I have met, he admitted. You fight not with swords, but with truth, and truth, it seems, is sharper. Peace was restored, but Selene returned knowing she had walked a path that could have ended in death. Still, she would not bend. A lie may buy safety for a day, she told her council, but only truth builds safety for generations. Her reign continued for decades. Yet the cost of her devotion to truth was heavy. She never wed, for she feared flattery disguised as love. She lost allies among nobles who preferred comfort to honesty. And sometimes, Truth cut painfully close to her own heart, such as when her brother was caught taking bribes from traitors. Weeping, she cast him from the palace, proving that her principles stood above blood. In her later years, Selene planted a great stone pillar in the palace courtyard, inscribed with words, "Truth is a flame. Shield it, and it dies. Feed it, and it lights the world." Children grew up tracing those letters with their fingers, carrying them in their hearts. When she died at 70, the bells of Orvanhall tolled for 7 days. Farmers walked barefoot to the capital to lay herbs on her grave, remembering the queen who had once drunk a potion to save a healer. Scholars wrote of her as Selene the Unshaken, the queen who taught the world that truth is stronger than armies. And so her story endured. For in every age, rulers are tempted by lies. But in the memory of Thelena, one queen still stands, unyielding, reminding all that truth, though dangerous, though painful, remains the only path to lasting peace.